Where last we left off, we added flesh to our stick figure. In this video, we're going to be drawing clothing over our little naked person. In some other exercises, you've worked with croquis and added clothes to those. And I'm going to talk a little bit today about adding clothing. One of the common missteps when you're starting with rendering clothes and rendering costumes is kind of suctioning the clothing to the form beneath. And if you think about it, in real life, we do not look like comic book superheroes with everything kind of showing off our belly buttons and our calves. Very few things are that tight. So you want to think a lot as you're drawing about the fit of the material and the kind of fabric. Is it soft? Is it stiff? Is it tightly fitted? Is it loose? All of those things are going to affect how you draw it. A really good thing to help make your clothing look more like clothes and more realistic is to add some creases and wrinkles and folds. All of those, as a kind of rule of thumb, are going to point at areas of stress, where things are going to be yanked at or pulling against something, where there's going to be movement. What's that mean? Joints. So wrinkles are often going to be pointing at the shoulder, the elbow, the crotch, the knees, because that's where the fabric is going to be experiencing tension. I'm going to kind of wing it a little on what this person is wearing. Let's just do like a t-shirt and jeans. And if we think about it, t-shirts are nice and soft. Jeans tend to be a little bit more stiff. So looking at that, if we've got the neck, the collar is going to start coming in around the neck. And it's laying kind of close to the body. And the clothing, you can see there's a little bit of ease between the t-shirt line and the real shoulder, because clothing is not skin tight. It's going to have some room. So thinking about that sleeve, it's going to go around the arm. And when things go in space and go round, we're going to curve lines. And I'm going to add just a little wrinkle, because wrinkles help us feel more realistic. And let's erase some of those sketch lines so we can see the shapes we're building more clearly. Now here I've got the curve of the breast, right? And over here I've got the curve of the other breast. T-shirts do not hug that tight. We want to indicate that there's a bosom, but we don't want it to be suctioned. So I'm going to keep a little bit of a wrinkle there, because wrinkles are pointing at joints. But I'm going to sort of go close to, but not skin tight, against the body. I'm going to follow a curve through. And I'm going to erase some stuff out of the way, because it's under the t-shirt, right? So we're not going to see it. So I'm erasing some lines. But here we've got the chest. So how are we going to address that? Well, adding some wrinkles. Well, now she's got like one boob. Be amused. One boob. We want to, I'm going to erase it a little bit so it's there enough for me to see it. What I like to do is to get a little bit of a wrinkle above, and I like sort of triangular clothing folds. They're not perfect. They feel very organic. If you look at clothing, you see a lot of V's and X's. So I've got sort of between the two boobs, I've got a little bit of a wrinkle. And then I might put one under so that there's chest there, but it's not suctioned. If you've got a corset, well, we'll talk about corsets. Corsets tend to eliminate underboob and have lots of overboob. If they've got bras, then you see the underboob. But only if you've got something that tightly fitted are you really ever going to see the underboob, because gravity is going to be pulling on that fabric. So it'll be pulling it down on the top of the breast and away at the bottom, because laws of physics. So over here I've got the other arm, and I'm going to draw another t-shirt sleeve. I'm following that curve of the cylinder. I like to put wrinkles and pulls also at seams and hems. And here I'm going to eliminate some of my understructure. And we know we've got body under here. The waist is bendy, so I like to have a little wrinkle or two at the waist. So they're not necessarily the most realistic wrinkles in the world. If you want to make really fine art, go into fine art. This is costume design. So what we're trying to do is communicate the idea of the costume, and if there's some stylization and some shorthand, that's okay. So, moving down, looking at the legs. We're going to do jeans. So, where are we going to see wrinkles on the jeans? We're going to see wrinkles at the crotch, wrinkles at the knees, and wrinkles at the ankle. Why is my phone ringing? I bet you it's my mother. It is. No, I am not stopping and re-recording the video because my mother called. Deal with it. So, crotch, knees, ankles. Because the fabric is stiffer, the wrinkles are a little smaller and a bit more dense. So, once again, I don't want to go skin tight, even if they're pretty skinny jeans. And because they're stiff, they're not going to necessarily be as curvy as the legs. So when I get down to the knee, I kind of have a little bit of a hard angle there. And then I draw in some I'm going to be wrinkles. And then right at the ankle, I'm kind of drawing in I got wrinkles. You're also going to square up a little bit at the back of the knee. And even though we've got a really round calf, jeans being stiff will be a little less round. Drawing in some wrinkles. Sometimes I draw seams just to keep track, because there's always a seam sort of running down the inside of the leg. Over on this one, we want to have a bit of ease. When I'm doing knees, I do at least a little bit of a front wrinkle, and I sometimes make this little wiggle under the knee. It's like, hi, I'm sort of a knee-ish wrinkle. Realistic? No, but it conveys the idea, and conveying the idea is key. So you see how I'm keeping this a little bit more square and adding some wrinkles around the ankle, because that's where a lot of the wrinkles are going to be. And I drew a little wrinkle right there at the hip, knee wrinkle, a little more square. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to erase some of my earlier sketch lines. The eraser is your friend. It is a tool. I linked a really good collection of comics on Blackboard from the Oatmeal, and it talks about how the eraser is not for mistakes. The eraser is a tool that is part of your building process. You are not going to draw everything all the way finished right at the beginning. You're building it up. And it is okay to build stuff up. It is okay to erase. It's constructing things. Erasing is like putting Luan over your frame. You know, if you're building a flat, you cover it up. So here you can see, my crotch is ugly, I'm going to fix it. Crotches tend to have relatively horizontal wrinkles. Their jeans, we might see a little bit of a fly or some pockets. I'm also going to go in and clarify hands. And just like clothes, bodies have wrinkles. And so by having non-continuous lines, it helps make it feel more organic. So right here at the elbow, I've got a break between my upper arm and my lower arm. Got a little bit of a hand. She got skinny arms and big booty. Way of the world, right? Alright. Going down, looking at feet. We're just gonna build up those shapes. I like to do some wrinkles that are like, hi, I'm laces. Hi, I got laces. Got toes. So here we have a figure wearing clothes. So that's one way of thinking about adding clothes to a figure.